Today I received a letter from my grandmother, whom I haven't seen for many years. Nowadays, receiving a letter like this is quite unusual. Who writes letters anymore? But what I found inside was even stranger. As I opened the envelope, I heard something fall to the floor with a clang. It was a key, a mix of familiarity and something oddly unfamiliar. Its appearance gave me a strange feeling, as if I had seen it before, but I couldn't remember when or under what circumstances. I picked up the key, carefully examining it before returning to the letter itself. As I read, I was frozen in place, unable to comprehend what I was reading. My grandmother, who I hadn't seen in many years, had passed away just a few days ago, leaving me her old mansion as an inheritance. This news took me by surprise, because not long ago she came to visit me. We drank tea, talked about trifles, and nothing boded ill, and now she is gone. But what surprised me even more was that none of my family members informed me about it. Not a single call, not a single word, which felt strange, almost as if they wanted to keep it from me. Her family knew about her death, but chose not to inform me, thinking it would allow me to focus solely on finishing my studies. I looked into the envelope and saw the documents for the estate, as well as a few lines written in her hand, her last words. Try to find out the truth. I believe you will succeed. These words are burned into my mind. What truth was she talking about? Why did this letter appear only after her death? And what kind of secret does that estate hide? My life changed in an instant. I stood there with the key in my hand, feeling the weight of its significance begin to weigh on me. Now I knew I had to go there, to her old house, even if it was the hardest step of my life. Several months have passed since I received this letter. Living on the other side of the country, I rarely had the opportunity to visit my grandmother, although I always looked forward to her visits when she came to see me. She was the one person who always found time to comfort me, no matter how busy I was. But now she is gone, and all that was left was this letter, which made me think about what she was trying to tell me. As soon as I graduated, I didn't hesitate for a minute. My first thought was to visit the estate to see it with my own eyes, to make sense of what lay there. What exactly did she mean when she wrote, "Try to find out the truth"? Her words do not leave me, they accompany me every step of the way like a shadow. It's the only thing I've been thinking about for the past few months, and I couldn't take it anymore. Are you sure you want to come with me? It's a long way. Don't worry, there's nothing to do anyway, and it's kind of scary to send you out alone. That's right, knowing you, you're sure to cause trouble. I'm not some little kid, why are you so worried? You slept outside our apartment 3 times because you lost your key, and you didn't even think to ask to stay over. Plus it was winter, you caught a cold, and then we had to run around checking to see if you were even alive. If we send you back alone, we'll be so worried. You make it sound like I'm some kind of child. Because you are, they said, smiling jokingly. Oh well, I don't mind the company, especially since it's a little scary to spend the night in that mansion alone. You're afraid of ghosts? Ooh, Ethan, it's all your fault, she said, impersonating a ghost. We should have brought a monk to drive all the evil out of the house. Oh come on you guys, I just can't figure out what Grandma meant. Well, it's a strange message indeed. Even I would start thinking things. Perhaps she meant for you to find something connected to the estate, hidden treasure. That's what I'm going to find out. At least I'll see it with my own eyes and calm down. Voice over loudspeaker, train number 16 is now arriving on track 1. Please follow the safety rules. Isn't train 16 our train? Come on, we don't want to miss it. After spending the night traveling by train, we slept most of the time, gaining strength for the next day. The journey was long but pleasant. I've always liked traveling by train. You can relax, disconnect from everything, and just enjoy the journey, watching the beautiful scenery change outside the window. But today all I wanted to do was sleep. The last few weeks preparing for my final exams were extremely exhausting. It had taken a lot of strength and energy, so now I was really relieved. As I stretched out in my seat, I realized that this was the perfect opportunity to relax and recharge. Now that all these trials were behind me, I could finally enjoy some peace and feel free from the whole university routine. We're finally here. I'm so tired. I can't wait to take a bath and rest in bed. Ethan, are you okay? You look tired. I'm fine. It's just that looking at the mansion brings back memories of my childhood. The last time I was here was almost 12 years ago, the day my grandmother bought it. We haven't come here since then. Why not? It's such a beautiful place, the mountains around, the forest, the lake. It's like some kind of recreation area. I don't know, my parents didn't want to go so far away, and my grandmother never invited us. She always liked visiting, but she didn't really like people coming to visit her. It was like that. I always thought she just liked to spend time alone and not think about anything. After her grandfather died, she became very withdrawn, sitting by herself all the time, looking up at the sky. Older people often enjoy silence. It's normal. To be honest, I also prefer visiting rather than having someone over. It's so much work, cleaning, cooking, entertaining. Now I get it. That's why you've been staying at my place all the time. I knew it. He never hid it. No matter how many times I asked him to come over, he always made up some excuse about how his place wasn't clean or something. It's true, I have a constant mess, and I'm not going to clean it up. Oh, come on, let's go inside. I'm so hungry I'm going to pass out right here. I hope the kitchen is in good condition, I said as I opened the door. Wow, your grandmother was a millionaire or something. What a mansion. Well, I was expecting something completely different, like an abandoned house or something. It's a regular mansion, nothing special. Grandma liked to keep things organized. Just an ordinary manor. This is practically a castle. I can't imagine living here alone. She planned to buy this estate when my grandfather was still alive, but he passed away a few weeks after the paperwork was done. He didn't even have time to live here. To think that it's all yours now. It surprises me too. Why me? Grandma didn't forget about the others, of course, but the estate. Well, she must have chosen you to inherit it. Maybe she was counting on you not to sell it. I would have done the same thing. I wouldn't want my house, the one I put my heart and soul into, to be sold after I'm gone. You never know. Let's go see the other rooms. What a spacious hall. I can even hear my own echo here, and the piano, clearly not cheap. I like the couch, it looks comfortable. Let's move on. Wow, there are so many books. Even the library doesn't have that many, and all in great condition. Whispers in the dark, the silent heart. Your grandmother was obviously a fan of romantic stories. I'm going to stay here for a long time. I'm in heaven, she said happily, looking through the books. I never liked reading, and why are people so obsessed with it? That's why you're so stupid. If you read, you'd be smarter. That's what pisses me off about people like you, who think that if they read a lot, they're smarter than everyone else. How is this different from movies? Go ahead, start your lecture to me about how much books develop the imagination, or about how movies don't convey emotions the same way, or some other nonsense. Ugh, this just makes me incredibly angry. Let's let Ethan judge us then. Ethan, what do you think? Oh, she said, turning away, continuing to look at the books. Let's move on. You can read your books later. Come on, Evelyn, let's go. Okay, I'm going already. I've always dreamed of having a bathtub like this so I can relax and enjoy. The bathtub in my apartment is so small that I couldn't even lie down in full length. This bathtub is more like a whole swimming pool. You can fit 12 people in here. Well, that's a bit of a waste. The water bill is going to be pretty hefty. Oh, I didn't even think about that, but it's like we have our own well here, so we don't have to pay for water. That's convenient. Dibs on me first, haha. Come on, let's go. Nothing has changed in all these years, not at all. It's like this place is frozen in time. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Anyway, you're the boss now. You can do whatever you want. If you don't like something, you just change it. I think your grandmother would be okay with that. Maybe so, but in general, I'm happy with the way things are. Such a spacious kitchen. What would you like to eat? I wouldn't mind cooking something delicious. We bought a lot of groceries. I don't care as long as I don't have to cook anything. Would you like something, Ethan? I don't know. I'll eat whatever you cook. Well, it's up to you. Then today I'll prepare a nabe. Nabe, I haven't had it in years. Good choice. That's settled. I'm gonna go see if I can get a bath. You just want to be the first to take it, don't you? Bingo, he said as he ran out the door. How do you put up with him? I'm just used to it, but secretly that's what I like about him. Okay, I'll go put my stuff away. Okay, but be careful that the ghosts don't drag you somewhere. Oh, you're so annoying with that. Ha, go away now, you're in the way. As expected, my grandmother's bedroom remained exactly as I remembered it. It's hard to believe that everything has remained unchanged over the years. Even the book by the mirror looks like it has always been there, or is it just my imagination? Coming closer, I took the book in my hands, expecting a cloud of dust to rise into the air. Surprisingly, the book was clean, not a single speck of dust, as if someone had recently held it in their hands, and the mansion itself looked as tidy as if someone had just finished cleaning. The Paranormal Codex sounds like the title of a mysterious and eerie horror novel that promises to immerse the reader in a world of ghosts, shadows, and mysterious supernatural phenomena. Having opened the book, I began to slowly turn the pages, barely having time to read the text. Each page contained a description of a different paranormal phenomenon, sometimes accompanied by illustrations showing how they look in reality. I didn't think that my grandmother was interested in paranormal stuff. Perhaps her words are somehow related to this. My attention was drawn to a strange-looking page, faded and tattered, unlike the other perfect pages of the book. A poltergeist is a ghost or supernatural phenomenon that usually manifests itself through physical manifestations such as noise, moving objects, breaking objects, or creating other unexplained disturbances. This phenomenon is often associated with violent acts and can be linked to specific places or people. Poltergeists are often described as evil or chaotic spirits that create unpredictable and sometimes dangerous situations. When I turned to the page that was supposed to have a picture illustrating what they look like, I noticed that it had been torn out. I quickly flipped through the book to see if any other pages were missing. Everything was in order, only the page about the poltergeist really looked strange. My thoughts were interrupted by Edward, who entered the room. The bath is ready. The water is wonderful, like real hot springs. Teriyag. What are you doing there? What are you reading? I just found a book. I decided to see what my grandmother was reading. The Paranormal Codex, I think Evelyn would like that. She loves anything paranormal. She does? I never noticed that. Why do you think she was so eager to go? Well, then I'll take this book to her. Go take a bath while the water's still warm, and I'll take the book to Evelyn. Thank you. A little later. Hello, the bathroom is really incredible. I feel like I was just born. I was just finishing up. Eat while it's warm. Bon appetit, he said as he greedily ate the name. It's so delicious. By the way, Evelyn, have you seen the book yet? Yeah, I've read it before when I was a kid, but no matter how much I looked for it, I couldn't find it. This is a real find. Then keep it. I don't need it anywhere. Yay, thank you. Another book for my collection. Okay, you guys eat and I'm going to take a bath, she said as she walked away, holding the book in her hands. Why are you looking so gloomy? I don't know, I'm not in the mood. Why? He asked in surprise. I wish I knew. On the contrary, you should be the most cheerful. And why is that? Well, you inherited a huge estate in great condition in a great location. Anyone would be happy about that. I certainly would. I've always dreamed of having my own house, and here's a whole estate. To be honest, I'm kind of jealous of you. That's why I love you, because you always say whatever comes to mind. Well, we're friends, and friends shouldn't hide anything from each other. I'm certainly glad I got the estate, but my grandmother's death still haunts me. It's sad. I didn't even have time to say goodbye to her properly, or at least go to the funeral. It's not your fault. How were you supposed to know? They didn't even tell you about it. And besides, I'm sure that if you had known, you would have come. That's why they didn't tell you. I would have failed my exams, not graduated. I don't think anyone, especially your grandmother, would have been happy about that. Besides, the dead don't care what the living do anymore. Well, I certainly wouldn't care. What difference does it make? I'm dead. Ha ha ha. You always find something good, even in the bad. I wish I was more like you. If you like it here so much, you can stay with Evelyn. The mansion is huge. We won't bother each other. It's a nice offer, and I wouldn't mind living here for a few years, but it doesn't seem very convenient to stay forever. I would still like to have my own house. You know the saying, my home is my fortress. Then stay here until you can save up money for your own house. Who knows, maybe you'll find a house near me. That would be great. We'd go fishing, mushroom picking, skiing, all the good stuff. Even more so, I don't like living alone. It's kind of sad. I don't know, or maybe I'm just a coward. Well, extroverts like you would definitely go crazy alone. I don't mind keeping you company. This is a real resort, but it won't be easy to find a job here. We'll figure something out, as long as we have enough to eat. That's true. 2 guys with a college degree will go to work as cashiers or baggage handlers. Great prospects. Ha ha ha. Well, why go to the extremes? Maybe there will be some more skilled work here just for us. Who knows, maybe we'll get lucky. Oh, I'm so full. Evelyn cooks incredibly well. That's how she captured me. Be careful, Ethan. Women are very cunning creatures. First they feed you delicious food, and then before you know it, you're in a relationship and she's dominating you by manipulating your food. How many years have you been together? Almost 2 years? Oh, it's going to be an anniversary soon. Have you already chosen a gift? Can you keep a secret? I promise I won't tell anyone. Edward reached into his pocket and pulled out a small red case. Opening it, I saw a beautiful golden ring with a diamond, which demonstrated its elegance. Wow, where did you get the money? It took some work, but it was worth it. Don't you dare tell her or I'll kill you. I am the great. Don't worry, I'll keep your secret a secret. When do you plan to propose to her? I don't know. I'm waiting for the right moment. I need everything to go perfectly. And if she says no? She won't, I'm sure of it. The only thing I'm worried about is that she doesn't propose before I do. Do you think she will? I have no doubt you can expect anything from her. Then you shouldn't drag it out. I'll try. I'm tired, I'm so sleepy. Well, what's stopping you? Go and get some sleep. I will. If you need anything, I'll be in my room. Yeah, good night. Back in my room, I walked tiredly to the mirror. As I looked at my reflection, I noticed the book lying in the same place as before. For a second, I was numb. How did it get here? Did Evelyn put it here? Taking the book, I went to the kitchen to ask who put it there. Ethan, I thought you went to bed. Did something happen? Listen, did you happen to bring this book back to my room? No, I was sitting here with you the whole time. It must have been Evelyn. She was carrying it. Wow, this bathroom is incredible. I've never seen a better one in my life. Evelyn, you're just in time. Did you bring this book to my room? What? No, I put it in Edward and I's bedroom on the nightstand. What the? No, it was in my room by the mirror. That's where I first found it. That's weird. I definitely remember putting it on my nightstand, took everything I needed and went to the bathroom. I'm 100% sure of that, especially since I never went into your room. Most likely she and Edward decided to just play a joke on me. Evelyn just put the book down to laugh at me before she went to the bathroom. Well, that's nothing new. Okay, enough with the jokes, here you go, I'm going to go to bed. But I really didn't bring it in. Okay, whatever you say. Good night, fools, you can't trick me. Walking out of the kitchen, I saw Evelyn and Edward looking at each other, falsely imitating the emotion of embarrassment. This time, you're not fooling me, I said as I locked the door from the inside. And how did I fall for that? They had to have been playing a joke on me, although this time they really came up with something new. I fell tiredly on the soft bed and immediately fell asleep, enjoying the dream. The next morning, when I woke up, I felt like a new person. I don't know why, but sleeping was so pleasant that I felt an incredible surge of energy and emotions. After doing some exercises, I started to change my clothes, enjoying my happy reflection in the mirror. Everything was great until I saw the same book lying in the same place again. They've got to be kidding me, coming into my room while I'm sleeping. Taking the book, I immediately rushed to the door to give them a good talking to. When I pulled the handle, I realized that the door didn't open, it was locked from the inside. But how did they manage to lock the door from the inside? Taking the key, I unlocked the door and went into the kitchen, where Evelyn and Edward were already sitting. Good morning, Ethan, you look energized. Did you sleep well? What do you mean? This book again, where did you get it? That's what I want to ask you. How did you manage to sneak it in without waking me up and opening and closing the door? Calm down, let's take it one step at a time. Before I went to bed, I gave you this book. I locked the door from the inside so you couldn't sneak it back into my room. And the next morning it was back in the same place by the mirror. Which begs the logical question, how did you open the door, bring the damn book back to the same spot without waking me up, and lock the door from the inside? Did you come in through the window? Are you out of your mind? Edward and Evelyn looked incredibly surprised, looking at each other. I've never seen such pure amazement in my life. That's just not possible. When you went to bed, I took the book and we went to our room. Edward was up half the night looking at something on his phone, and I was lying there reading it. We fell asleep with him. No one left the room until the morning. Our room was also locked from the inside. That's true, especially since you and I woke up at almost the same time. You came into the kitchen right after we did. You certainly wouldn't have had time to get the book out of our room, she said, looking thoughtfully at the book in my hands. Oh, come on, I know you're just messing with me, but I'm more interested in how you managed to pull this off. Ethan, I swear to you, we didn't do anything. We were just as tired as you are, and even if we wanted to, we wouldn't have done it, at least not today. But it's really weird, how did she get there? I don't know, but if that book is ever in my room again, I'm going to burn it. Then why don't you just carry it with you, then you'll be sure that the price is right. I'm starting to believe in the paranormal myself, thanks to you, Ethan, if this is a joke. It's not a joke, I've never been one for jokes, you know that. You're the one who's a master of comedy. Well, there's nothing to say, but really we had nothing to do with it. By the way, have you read it yet? Yes, it's not very big. It's written in the style of a bestiary, short descriptions, pictures, it's basically a children's book. What's interesting about it? People like me love everything mysterious. The book has no author and there are only a few copies, even on the internet. Only a few people know about it, and even they say they lost it long ago, sold it or something. There are no photos of this book. That's why yesterday I took a picture of it and posted it on the forum. I want to find out who the author is. And did you have any success? No, everyone is just surprised that I actually have it. Then this book must be worth a lot of money. Would you like to sell it, Ethan? I'd give it away for free, but if there's a chance to make some money, I'm all for it. Well, I'll organize an online auction and see how much people are willing to pay for it. I'd appreciate that. What's for breakfast? How about scrambled eggs? I'll eat anything you make. A little later. This book is starting to get on my nerves. What is it about it? When I opened the book, I started reading it from the very beginning. At first, I thought it was all stupid and completely uninteresting, but the more I read, the more I was drawn in. Short, interesting descriptions and illustrations that looked like they were hand-drawn right on the pages of the book kept even me from getting bored. Several hours passed before I finished reading, putting the book on the nightstand with satisfaction. A sudden knock on the door distracted me from my thoughts. Ethan, are you awake? No, I'm not. Did you want something? Evelyn and I are going for a walk in the woods. Do you want to come along? You could use the walk. I'd love to. Give me a few minutes to change. We're waiting for you outside. Okay, I'll be right there. As I quickly changed, I remembered the book, but not wanting to drag it with me, I decided to hide it in the middle of the drawer, locking it with the key I had put in my pocket. When I left the room, I also locked the door and the house itself. I will do everything to make sure that this book does not appear in that cursed place again. What took you so long? Even I managed to get ready faster. Sorry, just checking to make sure I didn't forget anything. Let's go before the sun goes down. Such a beautiful forest and so close to home. It's awesome. The forest can't be compared to any park. You can't recreate that feeling of nature. If only there weren't so many bugs, it would be perfect, she said, spraying herself with bug spray. By the way, did you bring that book with you? No, but I hid it safely. Now no one will be able to get it even if they want to. By the way I read it, it was interesting. Really, I didn't think you'd like it. You're not really into books. Sometimes I do if I come across something interesting, and it's not very big. I finished it in a couple hours. Maybe I should try it. Ethan will know I'd rather watch a TV show. You can't equate books and movies or TV shows. They are completely different things. Movies and TV shows are often based on books, so what's the difference, whether you read it or watch it? Either way, you see the same story, characters, feelings. That's where you're wrong. It's completely different. When you read, you imagine it the way you want it to be, and when you watch it, you're watching how someone else imagines it, the person who made the movie. And what's the difference? It doesn't make it worse, obviously. Or maybe I like the way other people imagine it better. It all depends on how well it was done. Moreover, it often happens that a movie or TV series is better than the book itself, and that's a fact. Give me one example. Fading Light, for example. Oh, come on, the book is 100 times better. Only you and the other fanatics who didn't like the fact that they decided to improve the story think so. Most people are happy, and I really liked the movie. Ethan, tell him, you've read the book and seen the movie. What do you think? Haha, see? You guys are always arguing about this. Why don't you just accept each other's opinions? Evelyn likes to read more and Edward likes to watch. I don't mind accepting her opinion. Instead, she always starts pestering me, trying to prove to me that reading is better. She's annoying. I'm not imposing my opinion, just stating facts. Well, I'm going to have to agree with Edward here. You're always the first one to speak up for it. See, just accept that I'm not a reader. All right, let it be your way. It's getting dark, should we go home? I'm already hungry, what should we have for dinner? We'll decide when we get back. I hope you didn't lose your keys? Don't worry, I didn't lose them this time, I muttered as I pulled my keys out of my pocket. When I opened the front door, I heard strange sounds that seemed to be coming from my room. Did you hear that? Hear what? Like someone just slammed the door to my room. I wouldn't mistake that for anything else. It was definitely my door. Even though we hadn't been here very long, that sound, I've remembered it for the rest of my life. I also thought I heard some squeaking, maybe mice or something. No, I'm sure it was the door creaking. Let's go. On the way to the room, I had cold shivers running down my spine, but the presence of Edward and Evelyn gave me more confidence. As I approached the door, I hesitantly reached out for the handle. The door did not give way. It was locked. See, it is locked. It's just that your imagination is running wild because of that book. No, something's wrong. Something is definitely wrong. Well, let's go check to see if everything's in its place. Maybe that will calm you down. Taking out the key, I opened the door, hesitantly entering the room. My heart was beating so hard that I thought the others could feel it. They were clearly worried, watching my reaction. Everything in the room was in its place, exactly as I had left it when I left it, but I knew what I had to check first. Walking over to the nightstand, I took out the key and unlocked it. Reaching for the handle of the drawer in which I had hidden the book, I froze in anticipation. The book disappeared. Getting up, I immediately went to the mirror to check. This time the book was not there. This situation shocked me so much that my skin turned white, the color of pure snow. It seems that it was at this point that the others realized I wasn't joking and began to take the situation seriously. "Ethan, are you okay?" she asked worriedly, looking at my frightened face. "If you want, we can leave here right now." At that moment, everything fell into place. The disappearance of the book, the very essence of the book, and my grandmother's last words. My head was a complete mess. Thoughts and emotions were mixed into one huge ball, but they all revolved around one main idea: something paranormal was happening in this house. All the doors were locked. I know for a fact that I put her here, that I locked and checked every corner of the room. And now that the damn book is gone, knowing that you definitely couldn't have done it. Are you saying there's a ghost or ghosts in the mansion? Oh, come on. I think there's definitely some explanation for this. Maybe someone stole it after I published a post about the book? But how could they know where we were and to find her so quickly? It's not possible. I don't know what to think anymore. If they are thieves, why would they move the book from place to place in the first place? And it all started long before you posted that post. If they were trying to break into the house, there would have been at least some traces. And why would thieves want an old book? There are much more valuable things here, jewelry. I agree with Ethan here. Who would even need that book when the mansion is filled to the brim with valuables? I don't think it's worth more than anything else in this house. That's true, but ghosts, seriously? Why would a ghost need a book about ghosts? Poltergeist. A spirit is attached to things, can move them. If theoretically there is a spirit in the house, I'm pretty sure it's a poltergeist. And the book? The book said that poltergeists have an object that they love the most, their vessel. That's how they keep in touch with the material world. When I said that I would sell or burn that book, the spirit decided to take it away, to hide it somewhere in the estate so that we wouldn't destroy it. Well, that's out of the realm of possibility. Do you even believe that? How else can you explain everything that's happened in the last few days? The book travels around the house as it pleases. Wherever it was hidden, it would disappear. Even I'm starting to believe it. Is there any other explanation? Oh, okay, let's say there's a ghost in the house and it's a poltergeist, and the book is its container without which it will die. Why are we still alive? A poltergeist is an evil ghost. They're looking for an opportunity for revenge, but their minds get clouded and they kill anyone who stays in their territory too long. We've been here for a few days now, and we're fine. We're doing great, actually. It could be anything, but I'm only sure that the book is somewhere in the house. We have to find it. Why? To make the ghost angry and kill us? My grandmother lived here for many years. If the ghost wanted to, it would have killed her and us too. So I don't think it wants to hurt us. Then why are we looking for this book? What are you planning to do with it? To find out the truth. What else? Just imagine, you and I could be living witnesses to something truly paranormal. Did you see yourself? You're all pale with fear, and you want to go looking for a ghost? You're the most illogical person I've ever seen. I'd rather quietly pack up, go back home and sell this house and never think about it again. My grandmother wanted me to find out the truth, but I want to do it not only for her sake, but also for my own curiosity. It looks like we're going to die here tonight, Evelyn. It always happens in horror movies. Now we're going to split up to find the book, and then Ethan, as the main character, will find our dead bodies. Great. Everything will be fine, I promise. Let's go find the book. Oh, I don't think that's going to end well, but whatever. We went looking for the book, searching every crevice in the house. Hour after hour, from time to time we met together to discuss the places we had already searched and continued our little investigation. Time passed, but we never found any traces of anything paranormal or clues as to where the book might be. So the night passed, and we gathered in the kitchen tired to discuss everything. I'm so tired, I'm falling asleep on the go. Did you find anything, Ethan? No, nothing at all. That book could be anywhere, even outside the house. If the ghost really did hide it so no one would find it, we'll never find it. Maybe there are some secret rooms or something? Even if there are, I don't think we'll be able to find them. We're barely walking on our feet. Oh, I don't know what to do. Should we stay here or go home? It's up to you. I don't really care if it's haunted or not. I just want to get some sleep. It's a little bit uncomfortable to sleep knowing that something is living here. Oh, well, you guys get some rest, but I won't rest until I find that book. What do you want it for? So you find it, and then what are you going to do? What am I going to do? I'm going to try to talk to the ghost. This is such a great opportunity. The most timid of us has become the most insane. Do what you think is right. I set out again in search of the truth, walking around the estate. As I walked through the rooms, a sound coming from the bathroom caught my attention. When I entered the bathroom, I saw that the water was on, and the steam settling on the mirror revealed the words written on it, barely visible, "Don't look." Why is this book so important to you? Can you talk to me? Letters began to appear on the mirror, forming words: full moon, roof 1. I wish I knew what it meant. Can you? Before I could finish, the mirror cracked, shattering into 1,000 pieces. The sound was so loud that Edward and Evelyn came running as soon as they heard it. Ethan, what happened here? Are you okay? He asked worriedly. Did you break the mirror? No, it wasn't me. Looks like it's time to pack up, Ethan. The spirit is clearly not happy that we're looking for him. Full moon, roof 1, what could that mean? I think I know where the book is. Are you out of your mind? Do you want to go look for it again? No, I don't, but it looks like I've been asked out on a date, I said with a joking smile. You don't have to worry, go get some rest, everything will be fine. Somehow I don't believe it, he said, looking at the mirror shards. Everything will be fine, really, you can rest now. If I'm killed in my sleep, I'll become a ghost and haunt you, Ethan. That would be scary, but like I said, it's okay. I don't think I'll be able to sleep. I can, come on, you can keep me safe. Back in their room, Edward and Evelyn went straight to bed. It's fun to have people like them around, who haven't given up on me, knowing that there really is something paranormal here. I wonder if others would have thought we were weird and would have run away from this house. I probably would have been one of the first, too, if not for my grandmother's letter. Now I realize that her curiosity was passed on to me. Now I also want to know the truth. When I entered my room, I saw a piece of paper lying next to the mirror in the same place where the book had been. When I unfolded it, I saw only one word, written as if someone was writing with their last breath, sorry. My heart immediately felt lighter. I felt that my life was not in danger. Taking the note with me, I fell tiredly on the bed and immediately fell asleep. Some time later, when I woke up, I immediately went to the mirror to see if there were any new notes. Unfortunately, there was nothing there. I looked out the window and saw the moon shining as brightly as the sun. I immediately went out into the yard, looking for a way to get on the roof. After looking around for a while, I saw a ladder, thanks to which I was able to climb to the top, sitting comfortably on the roof. Ethan sits on the roof looking at the full moon. I looked at the moon, thinking about what had happened over the past few days. I've always been a coward, but for some reason now I don't feel fear, only genuine curiosity to solve this mystery. This surprises me no less than the fact that ghosts really exist, and even so, I'm glad it happened. Maybe this is something that will change my life and add color to it. Ghostbusters sounds interesting. It's really interesting to realize that I am one of the few people who saw with my own eyes what others consider to be myths or legends. Almost falling over backwards, I felt something lying behind me. Picking up the book, which was already familiar to the touch, I placed it on my lap, waiting for the arrival of a visitor from another world. The moon is so big and bright tonight, it's really special. Before I could see anything, I felt someone's presence near me, as if someone had sat down next to me. Turning my head, I noticed a young girl sitting next to me, watching the moon in the same fascination. "Do you like the moon, Ethan?" Yes, I replied nervously. "I'm surprised you know my name." "Of course I do. I know all of you, including your grandmother and parents. I know everyone who has ever visited my estate." "And you?" "My name is Celine. I am the author of the book that is lying on your feet and the first owner of this estate." "Why didn't you show up sooner? It seems like my grandmother has been dying to meet you her whole life." "You've got it a little wrong, Ethan. I've always been around. I live in this house just like you do, although I'm not very happy about other people living here now, but you could say that your grandmother and I were good friends." "So she did see you?" "Just like you are now. I don't mind talking to anyone who wants to." "Then what did Grandma want me to know?" That's a funny story. Your grandmother never told anyone else about me. She didn't want people to think she was crazy. But in the last hours of her life, what she wanted more than anything was for me to have someone to talk to. For some reason, she thought you would be perfect. She chose the most cowardly of them all. It's ironic. Fear is what drives us to do great things. You've realized that more than anyone else in the last few days. When your grandmother came to this estate and noticed my presence, she thought I was her dead husband. She began to search with all her might, and she found me. Not him, of course, but me. Even though she was a little upset, she was still happy to know that I existed. You know, you and she are a lot alike. If you're the author of the book, why did others have copies of it? Evelyn told me that she had read it before. That's a good question. There are indeed copies of the book, but they are certainly different from my original. When I was a little girl, I loved to research everything paranormal. I was so fascinated by it that I started writing a diary of my research. Even though everyone thinks it's just a horror book, I think you realize that everything I wrote is true. It's ironic, isn't it, that I became the one I was researching. How did you died? It's a long story. Do you really want to know? I'm in no hurry. It happened so long ago that it's hard to remember. I was in the mansion writing down new data in my book, and suddenly I heard someone break one of the windows. I went to check what had happened and saw masked men sneaking into my house looking for something. There have always been strange rumors about me, and even though I tried to hide my fascination with the paranormal world, people found out about it. And it caught the attention of an organization, cultists who worshipped a god I didn't know. Their masks, made of pure gold. I will never forget them. When they saw me, they immediately started chasing me. They were not interested in me, but the book. For some reason, they wanted to get it no matter what. It must have contained information they needed for their rituals. At the time, I didn't know that they wanted the book itself. I grabbed it and jumped out the window, running to the forest. But they were faster. I've always been physically weak, but at that moment I was running so fast that it seemed no one could catch up with me. No one except the dogs, which they set on me. The last thing I remember is holding onto a book, bleeding on it as my consciousness faded. I fought until the very end, and even after I died, I held it so tightly that they had to try to pry it out of my cold, dead hands. That's just horrible. Just for a book, they would do that? That's crazy. The information in this book is worth more than anything in the right hands. Someone who knows it well can use it for any purpose, to set ghosts against a person they hate, find treasures that have never been found before, or even talk to the dead if they are still in this world. What happened next? How did you get the book back? Poltergeists are evil spirits driven by a thirst for revenge, and the book became my vessel. Wherever that book is, I am. You'd killed them? Oh yes, I did. Their bodies have long since rotted away in that cursed cave, though I did it unconsciously. When my consciousness returned to me, I wandered for a long time, trying to get back home. I don't know how many years have passed since then, but I came back, and from then on I lived here until your grandmother bought this estate. Gradually I started to get used to this life, started to appreciate simple things. Watching the stars and the moon is quite interesting. It was also fun to watch other people's lives. But I still don't understand why I'm still in this world. What keeps me here? Even after taking revenge on my abusers, I continue to exist between two worlds. Maybe it's this book. Didn't you tear out the page with the poltergeist? Yes, all ghosts are depicted as monsters, but I want to believe that I didn't become one. I didn't have time for so many things in my life, she whispered sadly. Your book is still unfinished, isn't it? You can't even imagine how much is around that people don't notice. Spirits, yokai, and hundreds of thousands of other paranormal creatures. I wish I could explore them all, but I can't anymore. My book, my diary, is not even half finished. Maybe you're right, and that's what's keeping me here, keeping me alive. I don't know. But I would be happy to pass on my work to someone who would continue my work. Then how about me? I mean, I'm just a beginner, but I think I've done pretty well so far. At the very least, I'm talking to a real ghost now, aren't I? Do you really want to? It's very dangerous, you know that, right? Not all ghosts are as friendly as me. I realized that. I did read your book, though. You know, in my life, I've never been so interested in something that I could overcome my fear. It's really fascinating to be one of the few people who knows that these are not myths, not legends, but the truth. Maybe I could help people and make a living doing it? You sound just like me when I first started doing this. Brings back memories. So, will you take me as an apprentice? Hearing this, a sincere smile and a slight note of surprise appeared on her face. Celine began to tell me many stories from her life, information about ghosts that she did not have time to write down, and thousands of ways to detect them. I listened to her mesmerized, feeling sincerely interested in everything she was saying. I memorized her every word, engraving them in my memory. And so the night passed and the warm morning sun began to rise. The night passed so quickly. I'm not used to it. I forgot how fast time goes when you're talking to someone. You're a great conversationalist, Ethan. Your grandmother was right to give you this task. Although, to be honest, I didn't think you'd actually come looking for me. I didn't think I'd be here to see it either. If I tell anyone, they won't believe me. The important thing is that you know it's true. That will be enough. And even more so, she said, looking down. It looks like your friends believe it too. Looking down, I noticed Edward and Evelyn standing downstairs, staring at us in shock. They look like they've seen a ghost. Hearing this, Celine laughed heartily, as if she had heard the best joke she had ever heard. Oh my God, that's just brilliant. I've never laughed so hard in my life. I promise I'll carry on your legacy, and I won't let anyone else forget about you. I know you can do it. Celine began to slowly disappear into thin air, smiling sincerely. Will we ever see each other again? I asked, holding back my tears. Oh yes, when your time comes I will meet you, and then you will tell me about your success. Then I have nothing to worry about. Say hello to my grandparents for me. She smiled one last time and disappeared into thin air, leaving behind only the book lying on my feet. I came down from the roof and approached my friends, who were still standing like statues trying to comprehend what they had seen. What the hell was that? Am I still dreaming? Somebody pinch me. Ethan, do you want to tell us what just happened? It's a long story, I said, looking up at the sky. Come on, I'll tell you over breakfast. I'm really hungry. When I told them about it, I couldn't stop laughing. Looking at their surprised faces, it all seemed like one big bizarre dream in which I played a part. Thinking back to that day, I always feel proud that I was the one who managed to do it. After that, I began to actively investigate paranormal phenomena, helping others solve their problems. However, I have never met a ghost as kind as Celine. Edward proposed to Evelyn shortly after those events. Many years have passed and they're still together, happy. I am incredibly happy for them. I continued to search for and research paranormal phenomena, working on a book that became quite popular among a narrow circle of people who are as fascinated by the paranormal world as I am. Of course, I didn't forget to give credit to the real author, putting my name next to hers as the one who continues her work. Remembering how I used to live without knowing the whole truth, it's hard to imagine how big and mysterious this world is, and how much is still hidden from me.
So, okay, eigentlich wollte ich das ja komplett ohne Kommentar machen, aber was zur Hölle war das? Ganz kurz eben. Ich habe 1,99 für das Spiel gezahlt. Es war klar, es kommt kein großes Meisterwerk bei raus. Aber ich habe jetzt dafür, dass ich das auf Automatik habe durchspielen lassen, ungefähr, ich glaube, 5-mal eine Antwort ausgewählt habe, die sich überhaupt nicht auf die Story ausgewirkt hat, 36 Trophäen gekriegt. Ich saß nur daneben und habe zugehört, mehr oder weniger, also eher weniger als mehr. Die Stimme, das ist ja wohl... Ich habe KIs schon besser sprechen hören, mal ganz ehrlich. Und ich habe geguckt, es gibt tatsächlich von den Leuten, die das gemacht haben, mehrere Spiele. Ich weiß nicht, ob die alle so sind, aber einige haben teilweise eine 4 Sterne und mehr Bewertung. Kann man da nicht eigentlich einfach nur beischreiben, Märchen erzählen? Also, gute Nachtgeschichte oder... Leute, tut mir einen Gefallen. Kauft euch so einen Scheiß nicht. Reicht, dass ich das gemacht habe. Es sei denn, ihr wollt unbedingt die einfachste Platin auf der Welt haben. Also da lobe ich mir dann doch eher My Name is Mayo. Da muss man wenigstens noch was tun. Also von der Beschreibung her des Spiels habe ich mir tatsächlich viel mehr erhofft. Ein Rätsel, das unbedingt gelöst werden muss. Da habe ich schon so mitgerechnet, okay, man kann vielleicht, es ist ein Text-Adventure oder Grafik-Adventure, man kann sich aber vielleicht ein bisschen bewegen oder durch Antworten vielleicht ein bisschen die Handlung beeinflussen. Vor allen Dingen, es steht ja auch drin, jedes Gespräch, jede Entscheidung und jede Entdeckung bringt sie der Wahrheit hinter dem letzten Worten ihrer Großmutter näher. Ja, mag sein, aber ich hatte nicht großartig was zu entscheiden. Oder auch Storytelling mit emotionalen Wendungen. Wo war da irgendetwas emotional mit diesen ganzen sie sind aber oder sie haben und so. Ihr versteht, was ich meine. Es kam nicht einmal ein Du rüber oder ihr seid meine Freunde oder sonstiges, sondern immer dieses gehobene Sie. Okay, es liegt an der Übersetzung, ist mir schon klar. Aber trotzdem, es passt einfach nicht. Ja. Dann auch dieser leichter, übernatürliche Horror mit Herz. Okay, mit Herz vielleicht, aber wo war da jetzt irgendwo ein Horror? Da war überhaupt kein Horror drin. Oder auch diese wunderschöne Grafik im Anime-Stil mit gemütlichem und gruseligem Kontrast. Ja, mag sein, dass es Anime-Stil gewesen ist, aber jeder Charakter sah verdammt nochmal gleich aus. Es war nicht eine Nuance, Bewegung von einem Bild in das andere, dass da irgendwie nur der Mundwinkel vielleicht anders gezeichnet gewesen ist. Oder ich habe es total verpasst, weil ich komplett abgelenkt war. Selbst mein Hund hat sich verpisst, weil der zu blöd gewesen ist und liegt normalerweise immer auf der Couch und guckt mir zu. Ausdrucksstarke Charakterkunst. Habe ich absolut nicht gesehen. Nachtspaziergänge, gespenstisches Flüstern und mondbeschienene Geständnisse auf dem Dach. Habe ich irgendwas verpasst? Habe ich das richtige Spiel? Oder so? Und ich weiß es nicht. Also, wenn ihr es euch wirklich bis hierhin angetan habt, ihr habt meinen vollsten Respekt. Ich war unterwegs echt schon am Überlegen, ob ich das Ganze nicht einfach abbreche und lösche und ausblende und naja gut, die Stunde werde ich eh nie wieder kriegen, davon mal abgesehen, aber ihr versteht, was ich meine. Ja. Und eins noch in privater Sache, warum ich momentan eigentlich nur aufnehme und ihr von mir nichts mehr vorgelesen kriegt oder sonstiges. Ich bin gerade mit meiner Gesundheit sehr am Rummosern und habe jetzt sehr viele Arzttermine, wo ich dann auch sage, ich habe davor und danach eigentlich auch keinen Kopf mehr dafür, dann halt noch mit beiden Kindern und so weiter. Und dann die Ferien und langes Wochenende und hier und da und bliblablub. Ich hoffe, dass es ab nächster Woche wieder besser wird. Ich hoffe, dass ich dann demnächst auch irgendwann mal ein anständiges Mikro kriege. Aber ja, das mal dazu. Aber heilige Scheiße. Es kann ab das, was jetzt auf dem Kanal kommt, kann nur noch besser werden. Damit wünsche ich euch morgen einen wunderschönen 1. Mai. Mal gucken, wann ich es raushaue. Ich habe noch keine Ahnung. Ansonsten ein wunderschönes Wochenende und genießt momentan die Sonne. Man hört sich. Bis denn dann.